Hello again, everybody. This is going to be Jund League number 12. Trying a few new things with this version of the deck. The thing that makes me the most nervous about this particular version is that I am electing to not play Scavenging Ooze. In order to fulfill a kind of similar role, I am instead trying two main deck copies of Cling to Dust, which is right here. And I'm also going to be trying to play a third seasoned Pyromancer. Still trying to explore this card. In the past, I've been pretty skeptical, but more recently, it's performed well for me. So I'm going to try. I'm just going to up the numbers and see how many feels about right. In this sideboard, I've also brought back my two pillages because I've been seeing lots of Titan decks lately and Eldrazi Tron. And I also am beginning to try a Klothys. I know I mentioned that I don't particularly like bringing in sideboard cards that have the intention of only coming in versus mid-range, but Klothys is the kind of mid-range killer that also has great utility versus stuff like Prowess, Burn, the like. So we're going to see how Klothys does. Also, having a threat that is indestructible could be pretty good. Since I'm not playing Scavenging Ooze, I decided to bring back third Nile Spellbomb, just because I don't really have a whole lot of Grave Hate to begin with, so I'm just going to pack one extra piece in the sideboard to help deal with stuff like that if I need to. I am playing two Cling to Dust, but I only get to exile one thing with the card unless I want to pay 4 and escape 5, whereas Scavenging Ooze, if it's in play, you just can eat things equal to as much green that you have available. So I expect to still be weak to graveyard decks in game 1, as Jund usually tends to be. But I've got a bunch of good sideboard cards to combat them, namely Nile Spellbomb, Ashiok, and even the Klothys. So even more utility that the Klothys has there. So let's take a look at the metagame snapshot. We see a shift in Eldrazi Tron. I believe it was either 5 or 6 before, but it has subverted Burn. Burn is now dropping to 6. We still have Gruul pretty consistently at 5, and then our top 3 contenders have been pretty stagnant for a while. They are some version of Mono Red or Blue Red Blitz using Stormwing Entity or just all of the other good generic prowess creatures. Uro Piles, be it Temur or Sultai. It looks like Temur is more popular right now. And then Blue-White Control, which may also encompass the Stoneblade variants. So that said, let's move this over here and get into a league. So definitely gonna chalk this this particular league in as experimental. As far as I am still skeptical of Seasoned Pyromancer, but it's growing on me, and I've never tried Cling to Dust. So I'm playing 5 cards in the main that I'm trying to get a feel for, but we're also missing Scavenging Ooze, so that's kind of 3 things that are different. So Spirebluff Sleight of Hand could mean Storm. It could also mean Blue-Red Prowess. So if it is Blue-Red Prowess, I think I don't want to play a fetch first, because I don't want to fetch basic Swamp if I want the option of casting Renin 6 on turn 2. So I think I'll just play the Swamp to hold up Fatal Push. So I'm assuming it's Storm now, because not having 2 plays seems pretty unlikely. I think I'm just going to get my clock down now, since nothing else is happening. We don't know that this is a value generation game. In fact, it probably isn't. So I'll just get basic Forest and play a Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf does not die to Bolt because there is not yet an instant in the yard. Storm. They're gonna go for it here on turn 3. So I could have avoided this by holding up Fatal Push, but I don't think I'm supposed to do nothing, especially as early as my own turn 2. I mean, if I die, I die. They're not deterministic yet. At this point, they just need to Past in Flames, right? I guess now they need mana and Past in Flames. Wow, and they fizzle. That's pretty big for us. Ooh, and Liliana is excellent. I think I'm just going to Liliana now, because then I'll have the continued disruptive threat in play. So I think I'll fetch Shock and Overgrown Tomb. There is some chance that the opponent just Natural Storm combos us. So in that event, maybe I want to keep my life total high and I should just be getting basics. Because this is 2 more spells that they have to cast in order to kill me. What's up, Evan and Nick? It's Jun time in the Junderdome. This is factual. Alright, so if they have Remand, we can still kill the Baral. I'm definitely going to plus first so that they discard without having the information that their Baral is going to die. At this point, I have so many lands, I think I just want to keep all of the instant speed spells, which means I would ditch a Renin 6. Don't think this game is going to go long enough such that Renin 6 is going to provide significant presence. Also, ditching a Planeswalker makes Goyf huge. They discard a Mountain. Alright, I don't think I want them to Remand to Terminate, so I'll just cast a Fatal Push and then hold up a Kolaghan's Command. Like, they can Remand this, but then I'll just kill it again. Sure. You'll get a loot out of it, which is on the annoying side, but fine. So now we actually cannot terminate, but I think the odds we die here are kind of low. They need a lot. And then Kolaghan's Command means they're just dead in 2 turns. Just main phase of gifts. Okay. But between Kolaghan's Command and Liliana, they're only going to get to keep 1 card. Alright, well, I'm not going to give him the Empty. Empty may give him enough time to just crawl back into it. I think Grape Shot's probably one of the weaker cards they could have. Like, mana is their bottleneck, but also Empty is really annoying. So I think I'm going to bin the Splice Ritual and the Empty. You can have 1 Ritual and a Grape Shot. Alright, Stomping Ground, I guess. I think I'm going to pitch this season Pyromancer because this lets me Kolaghan's Command and still hold up Terminate if they play a Reducer. Alright, there goes the grape shot. Alright, and then I'll do 2 to you, you discard. Shortening the clock by 1 and also reducing their access to resources. There goes the ritual. So they have 1 card. If they go land past In Flames, they can get all the rituals going. Alright, well, Spire Bluff doesn't do it. So now I'm pretty sure we just win. Cool. So, Storm combo. It is to my knowledge that most of the time the opponent is just on the empty plan versus us, empty the Warrens. So Plague Engineer going to be quite strong. Spellbomb's going to have good utility as well. I think Colossus is probably too slow, just exiling 1 card per turn. Oh, a few other things that I should bring up as far as the deck tech is since we have such a heavy reliance on red now, and our green requirement has been reduced, I am, instead of playing 2 Overgrown Tomb, playing 2 Blood Crypt. And I went down to 1 Overgrown Tomb. And additionally, since there's so much mid-range running around and not a whole lot of combo and control, I am reducing my numbers of hand disruption spells. I'm only playing 5 as opposed to the normal 6. I think Seasoned Pyromancer is just going to be my weakest threat by a lot. Goyf and Bloodbraid can both be pretty good. I have to be careful not to overboard here. Like, I'm already taking out a lot of threats and bringing in lots of disruption, but I do want to be able to actually win. Renin 6 doesn't actually kill a lot, so maybe that's a non-threat, non-disruptive card that I can shave. How does this look? Don't think I can cut the Plague Engineers or the Ashiok or the Liliana or the Pulse. Pulse isn't out to things like Aria of Flame and the Goblin tokens. Abrupt Decay kills Aria and the mana creatures. Terminate kills all the mana creatures. Goyf and Bob obviously great. Brutality great. Spellbomb great. 1 mana removal and hand disruption great. Cling to Dust fine. This is looking good to me. So his hand's missing some stuff. We've got the answer to the Empty the Warrens, though, and we've got a turn 1 Thoughtseize. So that considered, I think it's going to be pretty hard to mulligan this. Now we've got turn 1 Inquisition as well. At this point, playing around Blood Moon is free, so I think I just should. I took out Renin 6, so getting Swamp here isn't really going to bite me in any way. Just rituals. All right, there's the empty too. They could empty this turn. I'll have the pulse ready. I'll get hit once. And they pass, huh? All right, well now let's Thoughtseize. If you were manned, I'll just play it again. I think I'm just going to take gifts. I've already got the answer to the empty, but they do have 2 empties. Pretty awkward. I think I'm forced to take second empty because I can't deal with multiples, but this gifts is going to be pretty important. I'll take second empty. Land, go. Want to hold up the option to Cling to Dust off of something like an Overgrown Tomb. Again, I don't really have a huge reliance on green mana, so I'll just not get the green source yet. So I can shock in Stomping Ground, which will let me hold up Bolt and Terminate, but I think I'm more likely to want to Cling to Dust and Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I'll save the 2 life here. Interesting that the opponent just hasn't like spewed off an Empty the Warrens yet. They're using it on a gift? That's fine. Maybe they're trying to make this empty bigger. Yeah, they're just trying to make this empty bigger. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them the rituals to entice them to go for the huge empty, and then I can pulse it and just like be done with it. I don't think I want them to be able to Past in Flames twice, so I'm okay just putting it in the yard. Put 2 cards in the yard. Past in Flames and the one that draws a card. Alright, so you have the 2 rituals, you don't have the Past in Flames, you don't have the Manamorphose. Alright, so I'm assuming this is going for a big empty. Yep. And I think I will just cycle this Cling to Dust on the Past in Flames. Past in Flames. Bye. And then playing Forest means I can keep up a Lightning Bolt. Please don't bolt the 1 goblin. Alright, I guess they've got it. I mean, so I guess they knew they were insulated. Alright, I do plan on bolting one of these goblins, because 5 goblins won't be enough to attack multiple times through a Tarmogoyf. Yeah, like I'm taking 4, then I'll take 3, then I'll take 2, then I'll take 1. Which is 10, I'm at 12, that's not enough. I can even terminate another to take 3, then 2, then 1, which is not even close to lethal. They went top with their Serum Visions though, that's scary. I could have tapped better to cast Tarmogoyf. Like, had I tapped Stomping Ground and kept up 2 black sources, I could cast Fatal Push again if they remand it. So maybe that's an error. I'll let your mana empty. And then, of course, I'm going to let them attack before I decide to kill stuff. So at this point, I can't recast something off of a remand. So I'll just go for the more expensive spell. Take 2. Trade with the Goyf, yeah. So I have Fatal Push and a Cling to Dust available. If I Cling and draw a creature, I can't actually cast it yet, so I'll probably just wait on it. Alright, well that's something I'm happy to Fatal Push. The Brawl doesn't actually add much value right now. It's possible the 1 life is more important, and I should just kill a goblin. It's kind of close, to be honest. Yeah, I'll gain the life instead of killing the 1/3. They attack for the same amount. Alright, I should probably just get the gifts here. Can get rid of lands, leave at least a sorcery. Actually, they don't have lands, so I should leave them for the Goyf. They've got instants easily. Done. Not bad. Bad. But a redraw. Bad. Alright, so I might just escalate this. Alternatively, I could just plan on casting Cling to Dust again. The gifts or the gifts. It's pronounced gifts. Pretty sure. Now what do I get rid of? Get rid of a Manamorphose, why not? Alright, and I gotta exile everything now. Another redraw, you say? Jeez. Alright, so I've not been drawing super well. A blocker, sure. Kind of want to just 3-mode this thing. If they remand it, it'll suck. I think I'll just 2-mode it, because like Bob is trading with the Goblin anyway. So let's 2-mode it. Lose 2 life, I'll gain 2 life and reveal your hand. Bloodstained Mire is the better fetch because I already have my forest in play. And then I am going to play the fetch. Sacrificing this fetch means I'm 1 away from being able to cast Cling to Dust again. Bottom with that. Jeez, Pieces of the Puzzle's a good hit. They can't take Aria or the lands. They get Grape Shot gifts. They can Grape Shot now. So they attack for 2, put me to 2. I mean, if I sack Bloodstained Mire, that means I can Cling to Dust, targeting... Actually, there aren't any creatures that I get to target with it, so I may just want to keep the land here. Because if I draw a kill spell, I'm alive for a turn. That's the thing I would have fetched, too. That's kind of silly. Alright, I'm dead. I guess I'm not technically dead. I could still draw something. I need to sacrifice this to get the 5th card in the yard. Alright, that doesn't do it. I mean, kind of ran into the issue if I didn't draw my threat. Or I did draw a threat, but they bolted it, and it died. Don't think I should change anything. See, like, not having Scavenging Ooze kind of hurts here because it's not a threat that I can attack with. So it's harder to trim my other threats. My only really, like good attackers are my 4 Glyphs and my 2 Bloodbraids. I think I need the other Bloodbraids just as a thing that attacks. What do I even take out in that case? Maybe while I'm on the play, I can take out a Terminate. Is God of Destiny good into Storm? You're talking about Klothys? I think it's too slow. It only exiles one thing a turn. I mean, it does 2 damage a turn, right? So it could be a clock in that way. I don't know. I don't think it's better than any of this stuff, though. Like, I still need to figure out a card to cut. The opponent is so deep on the empty plan that maybe I cut the Ashioks, but if Ashiok also means they can't search their library with gifts ungiven and stuff like that. I think I need all of my threats is the issue. Here, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to cut a Fatal Push and keep the Bolts. Bolts can steal Erase, whereas Push doesn't. It heals you. Yeah, I mean, if they're going to kill me, they might just kill me by a lot. Obviously, last game they didn't kill me by a lot. It was pretty close the entire time, so it's possible I should have it. This stand's great. Really, really strong. Sand's got a little bit of everything. So if we don't draw untapped land, if we draw untapped land, I'm just going to play Tarmogoyf. Alright, so they have empty again. I think I should probably reduce the effect of that by taking the mana. Make sure it doesn't come down a turn earlier. Because like if they draw Ritual and I play Goyf, on their turn 2 they can get 6 goblins and I'll be left with the Goyf. Because if I draw untapped land, I'm pretty sure I want to play Goyf over a Thoughtseize. I mean, if I don't, then I might just play. I mean, I could just do that, save the Thoughtseize for later. I think I am going to just Thoughtseize first, because I still plan on playing Tarmogoyf next turn, and I don't want them emptying at all. Would really, really enjoy a black source. That's a black source. So now I can Inquisition into Tarmogoyf. So the fetch means that my Goyf will be a 3/4. They can combine Lightning Bolt and Grape Shot to kill the Goyf. I think I should just take the Grape Shot because they have all the mana Morphoses. And then this Goyf is going to outsize the Bolt anyway. Not going to play around Blood Moon. Alright, so this has gone pretty okay so far. I mean, the opponent's got a bunch of redraws and a Bolt, though, so maybe we get burned out. They drew Pieces. Yikes. They get options, too. Alright, so they didn't take a Braid. They can't take Steam Vents. And they did not take Sleight of Hand. They took Empty and a different copy of Sleight of Hand. Alright, I guess I'll just turn up Heat. So they can mana Morphos a bunch of times into and empty the Warrens. Hopefully this hits something like Plague Engineer so we insulate versus that. Alright, or we could just take it. So there goes the empty. That's pretty good. Smack ya. So Bolt can kill Bloodbraid, reduce our clock that way. We have Raging Ravine if we really need more of a clock. So we've gone through 2 Empty the Warrens already. I don't know if they play more than that. So we've got sorcery, land, instant in our own yard. We don't even have the instant, but we have creature now. Tarmogoyf's a good hit though. That means they're going to be hard pressed to do something this turn. I could Ashiok. Ashiok could prevent some ridiculous Past in Flames turn, but they need a reducer for Past in Flames to be good, or they need ritual into Past in Flames. And then they're just a bunch of redraws, but then they could empty. So I guess let's redo the math. So if they go land, Past in Flames, they only have 1 mana, that's not enough. If they go ritual, Past in Flames, they'll have 2 mana left over. They can ritual off, cast the Manamorphosis to draw some cards, then empty for a lot. Does it change my clock at all to Tarmogoyf now? We don't have instant in our own yard, so attacking first guarantees we hit for 4, as opposed to maybe shrinking Goyf to 4. Although the odds that we lose, that we don't add a type, are pretty low. So we attack for 4, put them to 10, play Ashiok. Then on the next turn we could play Tarmogoyf. Assuming we have another type in the yard by then, that's a lethal attack. So I think it's actually safer to just go for the Ashiok. I think the odds we add a type are much lower than the odds that we lose a type or just stay the same. So let's mill ourselves. Alright, we actually ended up getting bitten. We didn't add the type. So, I mean, that was a risk, but, I mean, I think it was the right risk. You drew another empty? Yeah, that's the 3rd empty. I mean, our Glyphs are going to be able to stonewall them decently. Not exactly in a position to attack. Am I? So in a world where they don't block 2 Goyf hits, they do die. So like they can attack me, I'll block 1, take 4, go to 8. If they don't, yeah, I think I'm going to attack. Because like if they put a bunch of goblins in front of this, I can bolt 1 to get the blowout, or they just put all of them in front, in which case I kill all but 1. And if they remand, I can just recast it. Is that the 4th Empty the Warrens I just hit? No, that's just the one that was already in the graveyard. I think I'm going to want to save this bolt for the face. Well, if they're going for Ashiok, I think I'll just save the Ashiok. Because I can block 1, bolt 1. Now I just won't activate it again. Redraws are fine. Does that kill them? Don't think it does. If we mill 2 card types, it kills them. I mean, at this point, Ashiok is kind of just dead, but they're kind of forced to block, so maybe it's not. Like, if I just collected Brutality to kill this token, they take 8, go to 3, they have to double chump. Cling not bad. I should just do it now, I think. Get a redraw. And a decay. So they have to do something about not dying. Echoing Truths could be a blowout. Alright, they don't have it. Cool. We... Yeah, this is better. Think I'm gonna bottom second Raging Arena here. Gonna want the lands to combo with the Ren and 6. Opponent going to 5 here. That's a good sign. Unless it's drawn. Usually mulligans to 5 usually signify like Dredge or Tron. It's Tron. Ooh, we get to decay the turn 1 map. That's big game. That was a good draw. So next turn I might just season Pyromancer, discard whatever's in my hand, get some pressure on board, then hopefully find more. Simian Spirit Guide? What in the world? Oh, it's Eldrazi Tron. Alright, well, they're down another card. So I can cast Run and 6 and bolt that. That turns Seasoned Pyromancer into like actual card advantage because like I can discard a land and then get it back. Let's get Overgrown Tomb. Guess I should bolt on their turn. They could still have Natural Tron. They do? Jeez. Now I think I'm just going to let the Matter Reshaper hit the Ren. And then at the end step I can bolt it. Don't really expect this to come down to an ultimate. I don't want to give them another card to do something with right now. It's another Reshaper, yeah. Karn the Great Creator. So they get to Karn and play something off of the Karn this turn as if it costs 3 or less. I mean, Natural Tron is a reason to mold a 5. That's also going to be good. I think I'm going to block the Matter Reshaper with just the Elemental. I don't think I want to give him a card immediately. So they can Karn and play something that costs up to 4. The Forge, yeah, that makes sense. That's going to be on the rougher side. Not bad. So I think what I want to do is get this Matter Reshaper out of the way so I can kill the Karn. Which means I'm terminating plus something. Bloodbraid gives me a chance at hitting something like Maelstrom Pulse to get rid of the Forge. And it also lets me kill the Karn. Yeah, maybe I do just go for the Bloodbraid. Gets the Karn dead either way. Pulse? There's only one. Thoughtseize isn't the greatest, but it can take something, hopefully. Just a cavern. Alright, so they can kill something for free here. Yeah, if they block Elemental, they'll get to attack Ren in 6. But then they're not getting a card. So it's what do they care about more, a card or killing Ren in 6? I guess they want to kill Ren in 6. Okay. And if they have another land on top, they stop here. So I guess I hope they have another land on top. They can filter one out with the Seagate Wreckage. Have 5 mana afterwards. Thought not on top. That's rough. Take Liliana? It's probably the last thing I would have taken, given that they've got a Matter Reshaper. I guess they know what their top card is. Maybe it's another Thought Knot. Yeah, that makes sense. Chalice on 2. Leave me with the 2/2 drops. Another 2-drop. This is really the only play I have. Yeah, they'll just snap it off. They're the one drawing millions of cards. Come on, got another land on top? They can Seagate a Wreckage. They can Seagate Wreckage to draw a card and keep going with the Forge. Ha! Get countered. Got him. I mean, 2 Tarmogoyfs are quite large, so if I can find a way to get rid of this Chalice via Maelstrom Pulse or Kolaghan's Command, I could come back with just 2 6/7s. It's gonna outsize most things they do. They're drawing like infinite cards anyway, so I think I'll take the trade. Come on, Kolaghan's Command. Come on, Kolaghan's Command. Alright, I guess I'm gonna start exiling Seasoned Pyromancers. They've gotten pretty unlucky with stuff on top of their forge. Alright, well now Kolaghan's Command and Maelstrom Pulse are no longer an out. I'm gonna have to get there by just casting Blood Braids and Seasoned Pyromancer tokens. Bolt is something I can cast. Lets me get in with all my creatures too. Ugin the Ineffable on top though. I feel like this plan's gonna be not so good pretty soon. We're not drawing to Abrupt Decay, right? Yeah, it's right there. We're getting ahead on time. They tapped the one for Eldrazi. Another map, yeah. Yeah. That's a card I can cast. It's not very effective though. I need to draw lightning bolts. So I guess they're taking 4 here, going to 7. I'm assuming they're just going to block a Blood Parade. I mean, if I can rip my 2 lightning bolts, I do win. Probably. They can't really cast a Dismember. That would mean that 1 bolt kills them. They can't Chalice on 1 anymore, because that would have a converted mana cost of 2, which gets countered by this Chalice. Now a bolt still kills them, right? Because they can block 1 elemental with a Ugin token, and then we can bolt them dead. Or they can just finally draw a Walking Ballista. They tapped the wrong one. I guess it doesn't matter. They could have tapped this one to get it through. Thoughtseize doesn't do it. I'm gonna get some water while they kill me. Dead. This isn't even the like original Tron. This is Eldrazi Tron, which is completely different. This has me at a lot of 3 mana plays. I honestly don't know if Ashiok's going to be good enough. I'm leaning towards no. Lost a couple of viewers playing that game. I mean, I had outs towards the end. That's why I kept playing. I wasn't just dead. Sand's close. I think I'm going to ship. Got 2 Raging Ravines, which is pretty awkward. This hand's much better. We even get to use Pillage as a pseudo tempo play because we'll have a Goyfin play beforehand. They mulligan to 5 again? That's bad luck. Maybe they're just going aggressively for the Tron. But we have a way to break it up with our on-the-play pillage. Watch, we're going to get turn 2 Thought Knotted. Then it's not going to matter. Okay, we're not getting turn 2 Thought Knotted, so that's good. You got the Reshaper, though? Annoying. So I can pillage the mine, or I still think I just pillage the tower, because the moon is going to take care of all of the Tron lands making Tron. So I'll just pillage the tower. Not the tower, the temple. Oh, I'm not actually going to any events, right? Because of Corona. Well, I can discard one of the Alpine Moons to the Liliana, adds enchantment, and makes Goyf really large. Watch him hit Tron next turn, just like flip a land and play a land. Third mine. Alright, well that won't contribute to Tron. Thought Knot would be on the annoying side, just because of how big it is. But I will get to outsize it after discarding an Alpine Moon. The opponent might just take the Kolaghan's command. Probably do. They named Spirit again. Alright, so this will make Tarmogoyf large. There goes a Planeswalker too. And I'll name Tower. Don't want to name the one that they have in play. Gonna defend the Liliana because if it can stay on board for one more turn, that means I've got an Edict. Maybe Blaststone was a better name. Like, they're far from the Tron. If they go for the Liliana here, I think I'm going to block the Thought Knot, because that draws me a card. Hopefully finds me something to do. I mean, Goyf is going to outsize the Smasher later, too. The issue is, like, if I draw Terminate or Maelstrom Pulse and I want to kill the Smasher, I won't be able to. I guess I will have the card from Thought Knots here, so I will be able to. So I think I should just draw the card here, because if I find another threat, I'm going to want to play it. Let me just get the card out. Let me get the card back. Bolt's not bad. I think I'm just gonna jam with the Raging Ravine and the Tarmogoyf. So I can get Swamp, still easily activate Ravine. So first counter is good here on the Ravine, because that means adding the second counter will trade with the Smasher. Okay. So there goes Bolt. So if I attack with the Ravine and the Tarmogoyf, what happens? They either block both or they throw Smasher in front of something. They could double block the Tarmogoyf with Reality Smasher and Thought Knot Seer, but that means the Ravine's getting in for 5 and then it's too big to get blocked by something else later. So I think I'm just gonna jam with both. Like if this Ravine trades for something instead of the Tarmogoyf, I think I'm good with that. Especially because they've got Blast Zone and Goyf may not be long for this world anyway. Alright, so this is good for me. Leaves them empty boarded. We've got a Goyf in play. Drawing pretty poorly though, so that doesn't help. You mean after Corona? Yeah, after Corona I'm definitely down to play as much Magic as we can. Alright, well they hit the Tron, but they don't tap for extra because of the Moon. Bloodbraid makes it easy. That kind of makes it easy too. Bolt. Bolt. For the win. Yeah, I can't wait for the tournaments to start back up. I really miss like road tripping with friends. You just can't do that right now. Yeah. I've already told the Gainesville squad, the moment there's a safe GP in the US, doesn't matter what state it's in, I'm going. You can come with me if you want, but I'm going. Oh, they accidentally exiled the spirit guide instead of casting it. That's awkward. Oh, they were able to undo it. Okay. I was almost sorry for them. Can I just draw a Bloodbraid or a Bolt, make it easy? Thank you. I think I could have been scummy there and gone to eat their clock. Which, as far as winning the match is concerned, is probably the right thing to do, right? Yeah, the first GP that you go to is a really cool experience. Meeting a lot of the artists is really fun, getting cards signed. And just having a whole room full of people doing what you love is pretty cool as well. And then drafts are firing like every 10 minutes. Like literally like every like 10 to 15 minutes a new draft pod's firing up. Like from 9:30-ish to until like 7 in the afternoon, you could squeeze like 5 or 6 drafts in one day. It's glorious. Usually I do the challenge badges. That like they're basically like a buy 5 events, get 1 for free. Alright, Fesha is good because if they somehow have turn 2 Thought Knot, I can Fatal Push it. Chalice on 1. Alright, well I guess I have to decay that. So if I play Forest here to decay the Chalice, that means I'm not casting Seasoned Pyromancer on turn 3, so I think I just have to shock and pass. I didn't want to get Stomping Ground with this, because then I only have 1 black and Liliana becomes a bad draw. My hand's pretty good. If I find a way to revolt, I can kill this Thought Knotseer. Alpine Moon takes care of Tron, so if they ever get that absurd mana count, I guess they won't get the absurd mana count, then Bloodbraid's just a generically good play that I have, and same with Pyromancer. This hand's good. Don't know what they take. They took Bloodbraid. Goyf's a pretty good draw. I may just want to get that down now and then like also play an Alpine Moon. No guarantee that I have Revolt. Alternatively, I can Seasoned Pyromancer and like hope to draw something better. But I think all of my cards are good for now. I think I should just play Alpine Moon, play Tarmogoyf. And then I'm going to name a Tron land that isn't in play currently. So let's name Tower, I guess. So we've got instant land artifact in the yard. You got a Smasher. Dismember. Alright, well there's our would-be revolt. And another Thought Knot? Okay, I'm not beating that. I could draw Maelstrom Pulse. Maelstrom Pulse would be good. Beautiful. Here's my wallet. Yeah, GPs are great. I think average GP I spend, including room and transportation, I probably spend in the realm of like $400. But I usually sell some stuff beforehand to like help get the funds. But now I've got a job, so that's good. Blood Crypt, obviously a pretty horrid draw. These Thought Knots have torn me. So I'm going to 4 off of the attack. Sorry, math is hard. 13 minus 8 is 5. Another one. Alright, well I can draw Maelstrom Pulse. I think I'm gonna push in response. I know this doesn't kill it, but it puts it in my yard. Alright, Maelstrom Pulse. Maelstrom Pulse. Nope. I'll play the Swamp. Oh, I misclicked. I wanted to show them that I drew a Swamp. I'll just reveal it. Darn, darn, darn. Yeah, I'm real excited for GPs to start back up eventually. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be a thing until at least another year from now. The way the U.S. has been handling coronavirus has been pretty terrible, to put it lightly. Mirror? Nope. Alright, well I can kill this, so I'm not going to take 4. Would I like to take 4 damage? No. If I say no, they get to keep it. That's fine, though. You know what? I'm going to take 4. The reason for that is because this means my Inquisition's going to be good. I'd really like to Inquisition now in case they have like some kind of zoo nut draw. And like if I Inquisition and let them have a 4/3, I'm like taking 4 anyway, and then it's something I also have to kill. Alright, don't draw on Earth, please. I'm assuming you're playing it. Guide is fine. Terminate on top, not bad. I think I'm just going to terminate now. I could play Tarmogoyf and have a fetch land in the yard, making it a 3/4, but then I can't really block because a bolt would kill it. So I think I'll use this turn to terminate. Well, they know about a terminate, so let's see if they even attack. They do? That seems wrong. Thoughtseize on top. Thoughtseize can deal with the Incinerator. They don't have enough mana to do it all. Like, they can bolt me, but then they're 1 short. Sure. Alright, let's play a Tarmogoth. No unearth, please. I think a nerf or another lightning skelemental is worst case here. After this turn, I don't care because I can bolt it down. Alright, seal is fine. Gonna avoid sacking this fetch land if I can. Liliana's nice. Hit the mic. So I can get the Liliana down, which means I'm at if I sack the fetch land to do it, I'm at a virtual 7, which means I'm at a virtual 5. I don't think there's a big difference between 6 and 5. I'm at a virtual 6 as it is because of the Seal of Fire. Barring another Seal of Fire and a 3 damage spell, there is technically a difference between 6 and 5. I think I'm gonna get the Liliana down just to make sure they can't power out an Incinerator. Also, I may want the Bolt to win a race. So for that reason, maybe I should be making sure I can hold the Bolt. Definitely going to attack. Because like if they play a like a Goblin Guide or something, I'm gonna wanna have the Liliana down anyway, so I can keep the Bolt to win the race. Rift Bolt, okay. So I'm at a virtual 2 now, with the Rift Bolt on suspend and a Seal of Fire in play. Alright, so I've got him dead in 2 turns. They need to draw a burn spell within 2 turns. Creatures don't count because I can kill them. Mountain does not do it. Alright, so now they're dead next turn no matter what. I just need to dodge the burn spell exactly this turn. Oh, thanks Snapcaster for pointing out that the difference between 5 and 6 is 1. Not exactly what I meant, but good job. Did we do the thing? We did the thing. Alright, so they demonstrated that they play Lightning Skelemental. Is that enough a reason to play Plague Engineer? Definitely want the Brutalities. Definitely want Clothis. We didn't see a whole lot of Skelementals, but we do know they're in there. What do I even want to take out? Let's start with that. All right, so let's take out Bob. Let's take out both Thought Seizes. Run and 6 don't do much of anything. They don't kill anything. The only X1 in their deck is the Skelemental that dies on their turn. This has us needing 2 playables. Could just be the Plague Engineer, because like I said, we did see Skelemental. It jumps in front of a creature, but for 3 mana, that's kind of pricey. Hell yeah. This is the nuts. We don't have a turn 1 play, so I guess it's not the nuts. But if they've got turn 2 Incinerator, we at least have a Liliana to combat it. Yeah, Nick, this hand is pretty good. It's not soft to Incinerator, but an Incinerator will hit us for 6. Alright. Terminate. Alright, push doesn't do it. I mean, we get the Brutality here for 2 modes. Thinking about pitching just redundant Liliana. Two Vexing Devils? Wow. So if they go Vexing Devil, and I take 8 from them, let me double check this. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker. Alright, so that doesn't actually do anything. And this is damage though. So if I take 4 from this, 4 from this, that's 8. Plus 6 is 12. That puts me at 4. I can Liliana Edict. They'll have 1 card in hand. But I can get Klothys down to hopefully start stabilizing. I think that's the best play I got, because if I let these Vexing Devils stick around, the Liliana doesn't actually kill the Incinerator. So I think I'm taking 4 life off of each of these. Do I want to take 4 damage? Yes. Do I want to? No, but I will. Alright, so I'm actually going to 2, huh? I did that math wrong. Doesn't matter, it's the only play I've got. They didn't draw a land either. Any burn spell. Any Goblin Guide. That's a Rift Bolt. Alright. Well, I need to draw Brutality for that to not just kill me in my upkeep. That don't do it. Alright, I guess let me see what their last card is. Just more Incinerators. Alright, and they do have a Rift Bolt on suspend, so I die. Yeah, I mean, our hand was very good. We just didn't have anything to do on turn 1. Like, if we had an Inquisition or Thoughtseize, I think we win that game. Maybe I do play the Thoughtseizes because it takes the Incinerator. On the play, they do get better. Like, on average, it'll still gain me 1 life. And get me some information. Kolaghan's Command seems kind of weak. It's a lot of mana for not a lot of impact. Maybe this is just the swap. Give that a go. Yeah, this hand's great. It's missing a color of mana, but the hand doesn't particularly care. Turn 2 Brutality will hopefully disrupt the turn 2 Incinerator if they've got it. Alright, and it is going to be an option. I think I'm just going to ditch the Plague Engineer at this point. Do you have the combo? They do have the Incinerator and 2 bumps. So this is it costs X less to cast, where X is the total amount of non-combat damage. This loses 3 life though. So that doesn't actually do it. I'll just have to let the Vexing Devil stick around. I mean, if they draw a 1 mana spell, then I also do just get comboed. Alright, so I'm going to let them keep this. Trigger will resolve. Do I want to take 4 damage? No, because I want you to keep it. So I think the perfect draw would just be like another 1 mana spell. Goblin Guide is nice to us. That's good. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to depend on what I draw. Alright, and there's a 1 mana spell, so perfect. Unearth. Alright, I'll just take the burn spell. And I guess I should let them attack before I bolt. I mean, if they draw just another burn spell, the Incinerator is going to come down for 1 mana anyway. So I have to get lucky. Or rather, they have to get lucky. But even if they don't get lucky, they're just drawing burn spells. Yeah, like, this still just works fine for them. So here comes Incinerator now. Tarmogoyf on top doesn't do anything. So now I gotta face down an Incinerator. It's got trample, right? It does. Maybe pitching Goyf is a mistake. Because if I find the green source, it's a 5/6. Maybe the way that I beat the Incinerator is just blocking it unfavorably. Kind of get to scry here. Or I'll just draw a card. So I know this thing has trample, but I think I will block it because this means I'll take 5 going down to 8, which means I can sack down to 7, and 1 unblocked incinerator hit doesn't just kill me. Kind of let them have to have a I'm assuming they're getting back Vexing Devil here. Then I'm going to have to let him have it. Do I want to take 4? I mean, one of my better draws is Liliana of the Veil. I could take 4 going to 4. Fetch land puts me down to 3. I kind of need green mana. And then I can Liliana Edict their thing. It's really risky, though. I mean, I kind of just have to let him have it, I think. Like, Pyromancer can block Vexing Devil for a turn. It just isn't looking good. So if I draw Tarmogoyf, I'm going to want to have Overgrown Tomb so I can play it. So I'll pitch these 2. Alright, so I guess I'm blocking Vexing Devil and taking 5. Sorry, 6 going to 1. So any burn spell from the opponent kills me. That does it too. Darn. So far we have beaten Storm and we have lost to Eldrazi Tron, which was a close match, and then to Rakdos, which was also a close match. I mean, we're not Rakdos control, but this hand's a keep. Alright, so it's going to be, what is it, Temur Reclamation probably? Okay. Pitching a Remand. Like protecting a growth spiral or something. Not ideal. I don't have the Uro, so I got that going for me. Kling's gonna be good versus Uro if they ever find it. See if I can dodge second Remand. Nope. That one hurts. Oh, well, they don't actually have something to combo it with, so that's good. think I'm just gonna bin both Kolagon's commands. Doesn't actually kill a whole lot. There we go. Now we're in it. Like, their disruption was pretty good, but they also missed a land drop, which was maybe enough to get us back in. Well, that was a good draw. So I think what I want to do here is cast Renin 6, which lets me hold up both Cling to Dust and the Lightning Bolt, and also pretty much ensure that I get to kill their Renin 6. Like, I can Bloodbraid here, but what do I hope to Bloodbraid into that isn't just one of these? Also, Bloodbraid's probably going to be better on future turns when the opponent has mana up. So I like this play. Especially since we can start hitting land drops. Like, they could force this, which would be unfortunate, but then I'm still killing Renin 6. Okay. So now I can bolt the Renin 6. Yeah, I think I just want to guarantee this thing dies. Like, I have Cling to Dust for whatever it wants to target first. But I can also just save the Cling to Dust for the first copy of Uro. Thoughtseize isn't a bad one. I think I'm just going to lead on that. Like, I really want to just start casting these Bloodbraids, though. If I Thoughtseize, I can bob and hold up Cling to Dust, but I also want to get them dead. It's kind of rough. Like, the only thing this is going to enable that's really problematic, at least for this one turn, is like a one or two of the thing that takes an extra turn at instant speed. The thing is, like, if they have Cryptic here, and they, like, I play Bloodbraid, and they, like, tap draw, and then they get to start going off the Wilderness Wreck, that could be a problem for me. So I think I'll Thoughtseize. Like, playing Bloodbraid seems really, really enticing, but I think this is, probably right. Sure. So this puts them to 11. They're dead in 2 turns, which Bloodbraid also accomplished. That didn't change. Yep. But now they've got nothing. Except for a lot of mana. Another creature, just fine. So they're very dead next turn. We get to push that. And even if the push doesn't resolve, we still have lethal through the shark. Alright, so Temur Rec. I like these. I dislike lightning bolts. I dislike all of the Inquisitions. Usually I cut down to 2, but I'm already just playing 3. I'll just cut more of them. I'll just cut all of them. I'll keep the Thoughtseizes over them because it takes things like Wilderness Strike and Cryptic Command. Yeah, Command doesn't do much either. That's true. I did discard both of them to a Seasoned Pyromancer last game. Good eye. And I think Liliana gets weaker when they're playing Shark Typhoon. We saw Red 6 and Lightning Bolt. Dark Confidant is very good versus them, assuming it doesn't just die. But I mean, that's like most things, right? Maybe I just cut another Bolt. Keep 1. I like the Fatal Pushes because it can kill Uro and stuff. Let's give this a go. Yeah, that sounds fine. Fine draw. So I could empty pop Spellbomb. I think I will. Reason for that is I'm not drawing a card now, but now neither are they. So I'm not going plus a card, but they're not going plus a card. So the relative card advantage is still 0. Blitzin are probably just going to get Overgrown Tomb. Gonna have to be careful that this Run 6 doesn't ultimate. It's not immediately an issue. Gotta fly around me. So I can Season Pyromancer or Ashiok, but both of those are really weak to a Remand. I think I should just Brutality and hold up Cling to Dust if they sack a land and then try to target it. Yep. Yeah, like if I play Seasoned Pyromancer or an Ashiok into that Remand, it's so much worse for me. Yep. They've demonstrated that they don't have a land for this Run 6. Maybe I should just Cling to draw a card. I think I'm going to Bloodbreed on this turn. Reason for that being, I want to start pressuring the Run 6, and they've got mana up, so usually it's just a good thing to do into mana. This doesn't happen if I don't draw a land. Okay, and I don't. I mean, Bloodbreed can attack Run 6 with haste, so I think I should Brutality to make sure I can do it next turn. You know, I've got the pulse for the run in 6 if I really need to, but I think I should just make sure that I can get a counter through. That I can get it through a counter. It's a rough spot. I would have really liked to land there. Fact or fiction? Jeez. So if I do this, they definitely take this pile because run in 6 means they're getting the lands anyway. Maybe I just do this, but then they'll just take Nexus Remand, but then they don't have a Cryptic. Like if I make the piles this, my Collective Brutality resolves. I can take Remand, leave them with just the Nexus. So their hand's pretty good for defending their Ren and 6. Luckily, Ashiok will be able to mitigate the effects of it. I mean, Ramand's just the most annoying. Like, I can Ashiok into an Aether Gust and have it survive. The issue is, like, if I minus the Ashiok to get rid of their yard, the Bolts plus the Ren and 6 both just get rid of the Ashiok. Then they have Bolts to loop with the emblem. Still think I have to take Remand because I need to start playing threats. So they've got a Scalding Tarn in addition to these 5. Putting a Remand on top, yeah. Uro. Yeah. I mean, this is my window to Ashiok. They can't Aether Gust it. And if they want to kill the Ashiok, they're not ultimating their Ren and 6. So I can't draw lands. Jeez, they drew another Remand. I'm going to scoop it up. Save the world some time. I mean, my hand was pretty good, but the 3 lands that I kept were the 3 lands that I lost with. The push ended up looking pretty silly. I mean, I am on the play, so like hopefully they're on the back foot. Maybe there's something I can do better than push. I mean, it's really only for Uro. I don't have 0 answers to Uro. I've got like Terminate, Abrupt Decay, Liliana's. One land, Ren and 6. Sure. Okay. So I guess the only thing I have to worry about right now is Remand. For the Clothis, I mean. Like, if this is a growth spiral, then I'm okay. But if this is a Remand, I'm just falling behind. Damn it. They keep on having it. Brutal. Got it again. Retain the ability to change my mind. Might just lose to this Field of the Dead, though. I missed lands? Okay. Let's try again. And it's stuck. That's big. So, I mean, I guess their counter was Force of Negation. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6 mana if I want to eat a land, 7 if I draw a land. I think I'm just going to Blood Braid here, which means I'm eating something like Remand or Aether Gust. They don't have Mystic Sanctuary online. Oh my god, I tapped wrong. I literally just needed to keep a black up. That was bad. Oops. Like a factor fiction or something. Which will bite me for not drawing a card. Counter bounce. Yeah, I guess. That was really bad, though. Now I didn't have the option of holding up mana. Well, I can Liliana that, assuming they don't have a Force of Negation. If they do, I'm in trouble. Wow, it's stuck. That's pretty big. Alright, let me make sure to leave up black mana this time. Alright, that was a swing. We're untapping with a threaten play, an indestructible enchantment that's draining them for 2 every turn, and a Liliana that's asymmetrical. And 2 spell bombs. So, if they have a land in hand, and this draws a land, they can put it into play. If they have to search it, although they don't get to escape it, I think I'm going to be really, really safe and just pop this now. I have a second one. This isn't a black spell. It's colorless. I'm still gonna need to race this Field of the Dead. But they're not hitting lands though, so they don't actually get to turn it on. And Cloth this can get rid of the Uro. Do I activate Ravine here? Hit them for 8? I think so. Leaving up black again for the spell bomb. Just in case. There's no chance they're playing Baloth, right? I don't think they would do that in an Uro deck. We eat a Cryptic? Wow. So they're 1 off of getting Field of the Dead online. So let me set a stop at my beginning of combat. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to go to attack. And then if they tap draw my creatures after it resolves, I can activate Raging Ravine. And then if all of that doesn't work, I can then ping them with Wrenn and 6. Gust. I think I'm putting that on top. They have to counter this. If they Aether Gust this, I'll put it on top, then draw a card with Spell Bomb. Counter draw, yep. Plus. Spell Bomb, target you. Redraw my Goyf. Play it. Alright, so they need to answer the Clothis, or else they're just gonna get hit for 2 on my main phase. Alright, that gets them 2 zombies, but they still have to answer the Clothis. They're gonna have to bounce it, and I just made them use a Cryptic. Uro, okay, they're not dead. Clothis gets to hit the Uro, though. Redraw. So by edicting them here and activating Raging Ravine, they're forced to fetch and double chump with their zombies. Go. That's 2 more zombies, but they're still just dead to a Clothis. Did it. That was really close. Klothys ended up being a really big player there. I think it drained them for like 8 or so. Made their Mystic Sanctuaries worse. It ate a pair of Uros. And then it also did a bunch of smaller nice things. Like, it made it so I could pop the Nile Spell Bomb more advantageously for myself. Like, I was able to pop it in response to an Uro, and then, like, I could just untap and exile it. Hey, what's up, KO Diamonds? Klothys does win games. I owe that match to Klothys, to be completely frank. So I'll keep up the option to do something on turn 1. Alright, and I want to do something on turn 1. So I don't know which is actually going to be better later, Bolt or Push. I guess Bolt probably kills just about everything. It doesn't kill Restoration Angel, but I think that's it. So I think I'm gonna use the Fatal Push now. Should I get Overgrown Tomb? Probably not, because then I have to shock to cast Lightning Bolts. I think I'll just get second Blood Crypt and play Raging Ravine. Not a bad one. Okay. Kolaghan's Command is going to line up pretty well versus the equipment. Batter Skull. Yep. Let's get this thing out of here now. Not bad. I really like my hand, though. Playing Ravine means I can't do anything this turn, but I would really like the option to Bloodbraid. I imagine this Pyromancer is going to be the last thing I play. Ooh. I respect it. Gonna have to kill that, that's for sure. I think I just have to kill that now. I really don't want that thing triggering, but then I might be soft to Batterskull. Unfortunate, but I'm not letting this Bob go off. I know what happens if it does. I could go for the higher risk line of Bloodbraiding. Then if I hit removal, it's fantastic, and if I don't, it's kind of unfortunate. But then I get to keep Kolaghan's Command. Or maybe keep Kolaghan's Command. I like definitely getting that thing dead, though. Thought-Knot Seer. Wow. Well, I'm glad I used the K command because it wasn't sticking around anyway. Goyf's big. We'll just do that. I don't think 2 random cards are going to be better than Goyf and another spell. This outsizes Batterskull too. Maybe not for long. Oof. Jeez. Alright. I can't even chump block that with elementals. Wow, I got 2 bots in my chat. Welcome, bots. Yikes. I think I have to take it here. Give him a card. What I need is a Liliana. We could Bloodbraid into it. Oh, they discarded Batterskull. I didn't even notice. So it kind of sucks that we can't block this Thought Knot with the elementals. I really don't want to block with the Tarmogoyf. What are the odds I can get another type added? We're missing... we're not missing... We have instant sorcery, creature, land. Artifact, we're missing Planeswalker, Tribal, and enchantment. I guess the only thing that could happen is Planeswalker. Not looking likely. Think I'm blocking. This is certainly not a damage race for winning. Yep. You know what would be the sickest draw is Abrupt Decay. I guess it would have been sick. I guess we could like decay the sword, then ambush a Thought Knot, but that's not gonna happen. I mean, if they somehow haven't drawn another threat, then maybe we can Liliana it. That's another threat. I don't know that Pillage is going to be very good. Brutality might be fine. It's just something that kills a creature. I guess Pillage can kill the equipment too. I mean, we've got lots of answers to the equipment, so that isn't the biggest problem. I think I should cut Inquisitions. Thoughtseize takes Thought Knot Seer and all the other Eldrazi that they're probably playing. 1 Threat and 6 versus all the X ones. I'm assuming they've got a big handful of them. Clean to Dust doesn't actually do a whole lot here, does it? Pretty easy turn 1. But I need a land. Land's very good if I can hit a land, but everything costs 3. Gonna bolt that. Land. Another 3-drop. Rough. Well, I hope they see my hand and laugh a little bit. Huh! This is too funny to not snip. Jeez, that was a beat. Holy moly. Okay, so I want to say that was bad luck. That was insane. I mean, I don't think I can mulligan that hand. Yeah, 4 pair, solid poker hand. Look at it. It's beautiful. Here, let me save it before I lose it. File. Save as. Desktop. What the F? Look at this. It's glorious. Glorious. Alright, so let's do a wrap up on this league. Alright, so I really liked the Clothis. It impressed me. The Pillages were fine. We played against 2 matchups where they were going to be good. I think the Ashiok's still probably fine. Plague Engineer's still probably fine. Very confident I went all 3 Brutality. The stuff that I guess I'm not sure about is the Alpine Moon. But that's kind of my only real Tron hate currently. I guess other than Pillage. But, I mean, Alpine Moon's a one and done, your Tron is gone. Unless they have, what's the thing called? Blast Zone. Again, I was surprised by the Seasoned Pyromancers. They did well. They weren't overly impressive. They seemed just fine, but maybe just fine isn't where I want to be with a 3-mana creature. I did not miss the 6th Hand Disruption spell. We played against 1 combo deck and we destroyed it. The Clings were actually good. I was surprised with the Cling, and I gotta say I didn't really miss having Scavenging Ooze. Granted, this is just 1 league, so the sample size is not very large. But I think I would like to continue testing Clings over Scavenging Ooze. And despite the fact that Seasoned Pyromancer was fine, I'm gonna put this down as a loss for Seasoned Pyromancer. And I think that's gonna be based off of it didn't really perform better than what it's replacing. And like the cards that it's replacing are just more effective threats and another Kolaghan's command. So I mean it performed fine, but if I'm gonna dramatically change how I prefer my build, it's gonna have to be more than fine. It's gonna have to be. It doesn't have to be great. It just has to be insane at least like 10% of the time and above average the other like half of the time. I mean it was only okay. Like I was sad to see it a few times, and about an equal number of times I was happy to see it. So I mean it was fine is the best word that I have for it. Red and 6 was still good. I funny enough would have liked to have seen more Dark Confidants. Maybe it's time to go up on those again. There's not much to say about the 1-mana interactive spells, except for maybe I cut one, but with all the burn and prowess going around, I think that's probably wrong. I think 6 is where I want to be. 5 hand disruption spells is probably okay. The Kling's obviously still experimental, so leaving him in for now. This Terminate has been fine. This Subruptic has been fine. The Run and 6s are obviously just generically powerful. The only real flex spots that I can see myself having right now exist where the Seasoned Pyromancers exist. Like maybe I don't want 4th Liliana of the Veil, but Liliana has seemed insane in most of the matchups that I've had it in. I don't think I want to go below 2 Kolaghan's commands. It's possible I cut the Pulse, but I'm not playing Assassin's Trophy, so this is my only actual catch-all. But I mean, catch-alls can only be so good if they cost 3 mana and have to be played on your turn. I could trim a Bloodbreed, but that seems sacrilegious, right? So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pencil this in as a loss for Seasoned Pyromancer. Also, I've played Seasoned Pyromancer in 3 leagues now, and my combined record is 7 and 8. So not exactly ideal. So like while the card may be impressive on its own, it's not putting me in a position that's good enough to win. And like before I started playing Seasoned Pyromancer, I think my win rate was just about 60 to 70%. 70% might be a little on the high end of estimates, but it was definitely at least 60%. Like I don't think I've gotten less than a 3-2 on a league in a long time. I think somewhere between Jund Leagues 1 and 10, I 2-3'd once. But in all of the other leagues, and I think even in a few rounds before that, I don't think I've 2-3'd in a long time. And we've just gotten back-to-back 2-3s with the Seasoned Pyromancer build. So I mean, it's still just 3 leagues. It's not really a lot. But I mean, while Seasoned Pyromancer may be individually powerful, it's not putting any of my games into a mode where I'm ahead or able to catch up. Which was kind of why I was skeptical about it initially, and it's the same reason that I had initially. Like, it's a 3-mana play that doesn't produce a meaningful clock, doesn't produce any meaningful source of card advantage before the first, assuming you're not just hellbent. So it's not a clock. It's not really card advantage a vast majority of the time. And so what does it do for me, right? Like, buying time is not something I want to be doing in a proactive format like Modern, especially when prowess and burn and stuff like red-green is so prevalent. I just don't think the Pyromancer is good. Like, again, individually I think it's powerful, but I don't think it leads to wins. Yeah, I mean, those are my honest thoughts on the card. Like, I went from skeptical to hopeful to, I think, now skeptical again. I think being individually powerful isn't really good enough. Because, you know, like, cards can be powerful in different ways. Like, you've got things that are powerful in that they can turn corners and win races. You got things that are powerful in that they're cheap, efficient ways to kill stuff. You have powerful in the mode of generate lots and lots of card advantage. You've got powerful in terms of this is just a huge beat stick, probably the fastest clock that's available. You've got powerful in terms of just if it sits there, it'll win you the game on its own. But then this card's mode of powerful is buy time. Buying time is not what I want to do in a proactive format. I want to turn the corner with Bloodbraid. I want to attack for 5 with Tarmogoyf. I want to draw 6 cards with Dark Confidant. I want to draw 4 cards and kill 2 things with a Wrenn and 6. Spending 3 mana to buy time, I don't think is good. So, I mean, so from 3 leagues ago, from before having experience with Seasoned Pyromancer, I think I was about a 4 out of 10 on this card. After the first league, I think I went up to like a 5 out of 10. I was hopeful. I think I went up to about a 6 out of 10 at the end of the last league. And now I think I'm down to like a 2 or a 3 on this thing. Like, I know a lot of prominent players, like Logan Nettles and Reed Duke, have been trying out a couple of Seasoned Pyromancers. But I don't know if they're doing it experimentally or if they actually like it. What I know is I don't like it. Yeah. And I know I've got some viewers who have been not egging me to play this card, but have been encouraging me to play it because their experiences with it have been good. But, I mean, my experience with it has been good, and it has not been good enough, you know? Like, it could be a solid C+, but I need at least a B- to go 3-2 or better consistently, you know what I mean? So, I mean, at this point, my opinion is no Seasoned Pyromancer. Do I have any more comments on the sideboard? I mean, other than the fact that I was really impressed with the Clothis, not really. I still think Alpine Moon is probably the preferred land hate versus just about anything. It has the benefit of being able to turn off Field of the Dead and Tron. And then, obviously, Damping Sphere is pretty powerful. But the other use for a Damping Sphere is against stuff like Storm, and Storm is already a pretty okay matchup. And then the other big downside of playing the Nile Spellbomb, not Nile Spellbomb, playing the Damping Sphere is that Bloodbraid no longer has a free Cascade. It's a 5-mana play, which isn't always relevant, but it's definitely a tempo loss if you have to take an extra turn off if you want the extra card, or else you're just like conceding that you have just a 3/2 with haste, which sometimes is good enough. But yeah, dislike Seasoned Pyromancer now. I think I'm officially going to put that on the record. Not to say I won't play it in the future if the meta shifts around, but right now I dislike it strongly. I'm at like a 2 or a 3 out of 10 on it. Yeah, I like the sideboard though. I still think Plague Engineer is good. I still think 2 Ashioks are good. I still think 3 Brutality is really good. I'm liking this Clothis, worth more testing. Again, only have had 1 league with it. I still like the Alpine Moons. I think Pillage is probably fine, but there may be a better option. And then the Spell Bombs, maybe I don't want 3 of them. So these are the 5 cards that I'd really consider changing right now as far as the sideboard goes. But other than that, I'm pretty confident in the sideboard. So with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and finish up this recording. If you like content like this and you would like to see more, drop that like and that subscription on the YouTube channel that you're watching this video on. If you'd like to catch my recording sessions live, I'm usually recording between 6 p.m. and 1 or 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I play Jund about 95% of the time. Every once in a while I'll throw in something new. But I've got a huge folder where I'm just stacking up, not folder, I've got a huge playlist where I'm just stacking up Jund videos. Like I said, this is number 12, I said in the beginning of the video. So yeah, if this is the kind of content you like, there's already a boatload of it on the channel. And if you'd like to see more, subscribe to stay tuned. And until next time, see you later.